And so they would tell me, you should be a priest, or you should be my granddaughter's husband, one of the two. So think about it, they would say. And they were actually more encouraging about priesthood than about being their granddaughter's husbands, I will say that. But I didn't think that God was talking to me. I thought it was just the little old ladies at Mass. Just those crazy little old ladies that go to daily Mass. And so I didn't really listen to it. But I kept asking God, what do you want me to do with my life? Well, Holy Thursday came around, and I have always liked Holy Thursday. I like Holy Week, period, since I was a kid. Partly because I had to serve every Holy Week, because I was one of the few kids that was willing every year to do it, and I liked the incense, so I was willing to be that kid every time. So, I went to Holy Thursday Mass, and I sat in my usual place in the second row. Nobody sat in front of me in the first row, surprisingly. It was a Catholic church, so nobody sat in the front row. And I sat there, and we had got to the point in the liturgy when the Gospel for Holy Thursday was read once again. Now, everybody here should know what the Gospel for Holy Thursday is, so I don't even have to say what it is, do I? It's from John. It's the washing of the feet, the mandatum. Jesus washes the feet of his disciples. And Jesus says in the Gospel, as I have done, so must you do. I had a profound experience of God talking to me. That's what I'll call it, talking to me, because I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to put it. It was as if, at that time when that gospel was being read, that nobody else was in that church any longer. And it wasn't Father Brian talking. It was another voice. And time stopped. It was the most profound experience I've ever had of God finally hitting me upside the head. And I knew in that instant, when I heard, as I've done, so much do you do. Not that I was supposed to go out and wash the feet of all the people in North Adams, Massachusetts, but that I was supposed to follow the vocation that God had put in my heart since I was a server in third grade, that I had ignored, that I hadn't listened to, that I thought there were other possibilities, that I thought that there were great ways to make money and to get famous and rich and happy, and all of those things hadn't come true in my life. Interestingly enough, I have become famous, or slightly so now, because I write for Faith magazine and I can't go anywhere without people saying to me, I see your column. Father Ron, you read your column first. I don't even read the bishop's first. I read yours first. And I say that's exactly how it should be. Thank you. That's exactly how it should be. You can read his second. Okay. And so it's now gotten to the point that I have people who will stop me in stores and say, are you that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, that's me. No, I say, yeah, I'm the guy who writes for Faith magazine. That's me. And so I have become slightly famous in my own mind, if nothing else. To the people at my parish, I think they think I'm slightly famous. They think I'm worthy of some kind of fame. I haven't become rich monetarily, but I've become rich with the graces and blessings of serving the people of God and serving the bride of Christ, the church, my bride. I have become someone who loves what he does. Now, I'm not going to say that every day is a cakewalk. I'm not going to say that every day is peaches and cream and roses and got lovely Broadway musical songs singing in my head. But you know what? Even the worst days are not as bad as those days with the freshmen in the residence halls. Now, lest anybody here who's going to be a freshman next year thinks I don't like you, that's not the case at all. I just don't want to live with you, okay? No, it has become a wonderful, wonderful life. And I could never have anticipated what my life was going to be like. When I was ordained in 1994, and my nose was laid to the marble floor of St. Andrews, I never could have imagined that I would be the vocation director for the Diocese of Grand Rapids. I never would have imagined imagine that I was going to be a pastor at Holy Redeemer Parish in Jennison. I never imagined that I would be going around the diocese and around the nation talking about vocations, talking about my love of the priesthood and how much I cherish this vocation. I never could have imagined that. I just thought I was being ordained, and I didn't really know what that meant at that moment. I knew I'd say Mass, I knew I'd go to the hospital, I knew that I would have people coming to my office, but I never could have imagined all the many ways that I get to be a part of people's lives, only because I am Father. I get to be a part of wonderfully moving moments in people's lives. When we celebrate great joy, and we watch a child be born, not only into the world, but into the church. I get to celebrate great moments of joy when couples pledge their love to one another and pledge their love before God. I get to be a part of very difficult moments, though. The pain of loss at hospitals, when we've anointed someone and they've passed away, and they've gone to be with God. And I also get to say goodbye and welcome to eternity to many people at a funeral. But in all those moments, I never could have imagined that just because I was called Father, that people would let me into their lives. Never could have imagined. Not because of anything I've done, said, anything of great value that I even am as a human being, just because I'm called Father. And if for no other reason, I'm happy to be called Father. Because to be able to be Father, a real Father, to the people that I serve, has become one of my greatest joys. You know, the one thing that I have discovered, that like biological fathers, fatherhood isn't always easy. The children that you are taking care of sometimes don't like what you have to tell them. They sometimes don't want to hear that what they want isn't the best choice for them. But yet, the other part of fatherhood that I know biological fathers get to be a part of and that I get to be a part of is watching with great joy when their children find something special, someone special in their life. And that's what I see when people finally choose Jesus Christ. And that's what I get to experience. Thank you for letting me talk about my priesthood, about my life, and my vocation. Please know that one of my greatest joys right now is being able to say to young men who are interested in priesthood, yes, we want you. Yes, I'm happy to get in touch with you and call you within just a few hours of you calling me, or at least 24 hours. And yes, I can't wait to talk to you. When do you want to go to the seminary? Because you're not going to be able to figure out here if this is the right thing for you. The only way you're going to figure it out is in there, in a seminary. And then you can ask the question, after you say yes to the choice to go to the seminary, God, do you really want me to be a priest? Because the first question is, do you want me to go to the seminary? Once you're there, then the question is, God, do you want me to be a priest? And there's nothing that's more exciting than spending time with these men who are trying to discern that question as they continue to seek to know God's will in their life. And it's